My name is Audrey, and I'm 28 years old. Some memories never fade, no matter how much you wish they would. For me, it's the day my legs gave out beneath me, the day I lost all feeling from the waist down. I can still see Jason, my older brother, standing above me, laughing at his latest joke while I lay paralyzed on the concrete. I can still hear my father barking, "Walk it off, stop being dramatic," and my mother's sharp words, "Why do you always ruin Jason's birthday?" They didn't realize it yet, but their indifference that day would soon brand them as something far worse than neglectful parents. If you've ever had your pain brushed aside by the very people who should have protected you, you'll understand what comes next. Stay with me, this is the story of how my family's betrayal altered my life forever. Growing up in the Matthews household meant living inside a glass box, flawless from the outside, fractured within. We had the suburban dream, an elegant house in Massachusetts, a father with a stable career as an accountant, a mother who seemed the perfect homemaker, and 2 children who made good grades. But appearances are nothing but lies polished to a shine. My father, Douglas Matthews, was a towering figure at 6'2", a man who thought emotions were a flaw to be stamped out. Raised by a military father, he lived by the mantra, "Pain is just weakness leaving the body." He passed that creed on to us, especially Jason, his pride and joy. "Audrey, you need to toughen up," was his answer to everything: skin knees, heartbreak, even the flu. To him, my suffering was never real, never valid. My mother, Eleanor, was gentler in tone but no less dismissive. She lived in constant fear of disturbing the delicate balance of our family, a balance built on protecting Jason and appeasing my father. If acknowledging my pain meant rocking the boat, she chose silence and denial. "Your brother wouldn't complain about this," she'd remind me. Every comparison was a dagger. Jason, 3 years older, wore his golden boy mask so well our parents never saw the monster underneath. Athletic, charming, manipulative, he learned early that as long as he shined in public, he could do whatever he wanted in private. When I was 7, Jason shoved me off my bike and I broke my wrist. He blamed my clumsiness, and our parents believed him without hesitation. At the hospital, my father scolded me for being careless, and my mother worried about the bills. Jason smirked the whole time. That pattern became the rhythm of my childhood: Jason's cruelty, my parents' dismissal, my silence. At 12, he locked me in the basement during a thunderstorm, and they accused me of inventing stories. At 16, he sabotaged my science project, and they told me to be more responsible. Every wound I carried, physical and emotional, was buried under their insistence that I was the problem. By adulthood, I had learned survival meant distance. I left at 18 for college, built a career as an elementary school teacher, surrounded myself with people who cared, and started therapy to unravel the damage. Still, guilt has a way of pulling you back. So when my mother called and insisted I attend Jason's 31st birthday party, I caved. "It would mean so much to your brother," she said, though I doubted Jason cared whether I showed up at all. "We're having a backyard barbecue. Your father built a new pool deck. Everyone will be there." By everyone, she meant Jason's arrogant friends. The thought of seeing them made my stomach twist, but excuses had run out. "Fine, I'll be there," I said, already regretting it. "Wonderful, and dress nicely. You know how much appearances matter to your father." That stung more than she realized. I had long since abandoned the polished, preppy look they approved of, choosing comfort and authenticity instead. Even small acts of independence were treated as rebellion in the Matthews household. Hanging up, I tried to brace myself. I'd stay a few hours, make polite small talk, give Jason a generic card with some cash, and leave as quickly as possible. One afternoon of discomfort in exchange for months of peace, that was the plan. What I didn't know was that this party would be the turning point, the last time I would ever walk unassisted, the day Jason's cruelty went too far, and the moment my parents' neglect crossed the line from toxic to criminal. I finally asked the question that had haunted me since the moment I lost all feeling in my legs. Dr. Martinez didn't give me false hope, but she didn't take it away either. "Spinal cord injuries are complex, and outcomes vary widely," she explained. "The fact that yours is incomplete is encouraging. It means the spinal cord wasn't completely severed." She went on to describe what the next weeks and months might look like. Some patients with similar injuries regain significant mobility, others see only partial improvement. Much will depend on your healing process, and how diligently you work in physical therapy. "So, I might be paralyzed forever?" The words sounded foreign even as I said them. I wouldn't use the word forever at this stage, she replied carefully, but right now, yes, you're experiencing paraplegia, paralysis of the lower limbs. Our goal is to help you regain as much function as possible, but you need to be prepared for long-term mobility challenges. The truth hit me like a physical blow. Hours earlier, I'd walked into my brother's birthday party as a healthy 28-year-old woman. Now, I was leaving it with a life-altering injury, all because of a prank and my family's refusal to take me seriously. Dr. Martinez's tone shifted. There's something else. Because of the circumstances of your injury, an investigation has been opened. 2 police officers are waiting to speak with you when you feel ready. My throat tightened. My brother put oil on the deck. He admitted it. He wanted me to slip as a joke. She nodded. That matches what the paramedics reported. There are also concerns about the delay in seeking medical attention. My parents didn't believe me, I whispered, the sting of their dismissal fresh all over again. They told me to walk it off. They said I was being dramatic, ruining Jason's party. For the first time, Dr. Martinez's professional calm wavered. I caught a flicker of anger in her eyes. In suspected spinal cord injuries, immediate immobilization and medical attention are critical. Delays can worsen the outcome. My heart lurched. Are you saying if they'd called an ambulance right away, I might not be paralyzed? She hesitated, choosing her words with care. It's impossible to say with certainty, but yes, the sooner these injuries are treated, the better the prognosis. Every minute matters. Tears blurred my vision. The injury itself was devastating enough. Realizing it might have been less severe if my family had simply believed me, that betrayal was almost harder to bear. Dr. Martinez gave me a moment, then asked softly, do you feel ready to speak with the police now, or would you like to rest first? I'll talk to them, I said, steadying myself. They need to know what happened. She nodded and stepped out to bring them in. Carlos stayed behind, adjusting my position gently and handing me tissues. When the officers entered, 2 women, Detective Sullivan and Officer Chen, I felt a flicker of relief. Somehow, their presence felt safer. We understand this is difficult, Detective Sullivan began, but we need to ask you a few questions about what happened yesterday. I recounted everything, Jason's escalating behavior, my attempt to leave, the fall on the slick deck, and, above all, my parents' cruel indifference as I lay unable to move. Detective Sullivan leaned forward. Just to confirm, after you fell and reported you couldn't feel or move your legs, no one called for medical help? Not until Rachel, the nurse who was at the party, intervened. I said, that was at least 15, maybe 20 minutes later. My father told me to walk it off. My mother said I was trying to ruin Jason's birthday. Officer Chen glanced up from her notes. And your brother admitted to putting oil on the deck? Yes, he said it was supposed to be a prank. He thought I'd slip into the pool. He didn't expect me to hit the concrete edge. The officers exchanged a brief, loaded look. Detective Sullivan spoke carefully. We've already taken statements from witnesses, including Nurse Rachel Cooper and the paramedics. Evidence collected from the deck confirmed the presence of oil where you fell. She paused before continuing. Your brother, Jason Matthews, was taken into custody last night on charges of reckless endangerment causing serious bodily harm. Your parents, Douglas and Eleanor Matthews, are under investigation for negligence and failure to provide necessary medical care. The words seemed unreal. As much as my family had hurt me, I had never imagined they might face criminal charges. They could go to jail? I asked, barely above a whisper. That will depend on the district attorney and, ultimately, the courts, Detective Sullivan said. But yes, these are serious charges, given the severity of your injuries.